Listening activity. Jackie, we really need to discuss the poor motivation in the company before it gets any worse.
I agree. And it's strange because it seems to be affecting some areas more than others. Plenty of people are going on training courses, but we're getting a lot of feedback from customers about poor service.
That's right. And it isn't just the fault of new staff. Even people who have been working here for years seem to be affected.
Have you any idea why it's happening, Kent? It isn't likely to be because of salary levels, because they aren't bad compared with what our competitors pay.
Right. And while there's room for improvement in working conditions, they aren't too bad, especially since we improved the canteen. If you ask me, the problem is that the staff are told what to do, and they have to ask their line manager before any changes can be made. Whether it's warehouse staff agreeing to a supplier any changes to a delivery time, or sales assistants letting a customer change something they've bought.
Yes, it's quite wrong that only managers are allowed to make decisions.
What do you think we should do?
Well, as managers, I suppose we could propose some changes ourselves and persuade the chief executive to introduce them. He seems to be just as aware of the problem as we are. But I'm sure it would be much more effective if all the staff were involved. If the ideas come from them, they're more likely to take them seriously and make them work.
That's true. But there's one idea I had that I'd like to put forward.
What's that?
It's to do with the way people's hours are organised. As the store is open such long hours, we have 2 shifts, and most people always work on the same shift. But for some of the part-time staff, that isn't always convenient. So, if we set up teams, with each team having to provide a certain number of staff for each shift, they could decide themselves when everyone should work.
That sounds complicated. We'd have to look at it in detail. But in the meantime, how about organising a social activity for everyone?
What? Something like a trip to a theme park? I'd hate it.
It doesn't have to be that. We could spend a day at a health resort.
I don't like the idea of that either. How about a quiz after the store closes one evening?
I don't think that's special enough. There are so many quizzes that people go to.
On second thoughts, maybe you're right about the theme park. After all, they're very popular, so I expect most of the staff will be interested.
Exactly.
I can organise it all, but just don't expect me to go, though.
OK, brilliant. You can stay and run the store on your own for the day, then.